we want to discuss about a for loop in Python language. So for loop is similar to our while loop in that it repeatedly executes a group of statements. So I can write for loop repeatedly executes a group of statements. So this is the purpose of for loop. But for loop in Python is specially designed to handle groups of elements. So whenever you see a group of elements, whenever we see a group of elements, so this group of elements is called a sequence in Python. So for loop works with the sequences, that means groups of elements. For example, in Python we are having a string is a sequence because a string contains a group of characters. Similarly, list is a sequence because in the list we can store a group of elements. Similarly, tuple is a sequence and we are having a range. Range is a function which gives a sequence of numbers. So like this we are having different sequences available in Python. So for loop is specially designed to work with these sequences. So what is the general syntax of writing the for loop in Python? So for, you have to write the variable in sequence colon and you give the statements. So how to understand this syntax? See, this variable will represent each element of the sequence. Suppose in this sequence, suppose this sequence is a list which contains the elements like 1, 2, 5. These are the elements we are having in the list. Now this variable first time represents 1. Then this variable represents 2. Then this variable represents 5. That means 3 times this for loop is executed because 3 elements are there in the sequence or in the list. There are 3 elements. So this for loop is executed exactly for 3 times. And whatever the statements we are writing inside this for loop are executed for 3 times. So this is how we understand this for loop. Now let us write an algorithm to display numbers from 1 to 10. Using a for loop, we want to write this algorithm. Previously, we have developed this logic using a while loop. But now, same thing we will do using a for loop. Algorithm to display numbers from 1 to 10. So this is what we want to do. Using a for loop, of course this algorithm we want to write using for loop. Now the first step is start. In the second step I can write the for loop for take some I or x, some variable you take. I am taking I, and I value is equal to 1 to 10. So I values are changing from 1 to 10. That means initially I value is 1, and then I value is 2, then I value is 3, finally I value is 10. Do means execute. So whatever the statements you want to execute, that you have to write here. So print of I, that means display I value. So please observe, I value will be initially 1, then print I will display 1. Then I value will be 2, then print I will display 2. Then I value will be 3, print I will display 3. Finally, I value will be 10, so print I will display 10. That means I values 1 to 10 are displayed. Using this for loop, we are displaying I values from 1 to 10. So this is a way you can write the for loop, and then we can stop this this process. Now let us convert this algorithm into a Python program. Before converting this algorithm into Python program, I want to show you how to use a function, that is a range function in Python. So what is this range function? Range is a function in Python that is useful to generate a sequence of numbers, a range of numbers. For example, if I write a range of 10, it will generate numbers starting from 0 to 9 only. That means this last 10 is not included in the output. So it will start from 0 automatically by default, and it will generate the numbers up to 9. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 9 only. Suppose I write the range function like this, range of 10, 20. Then this function will generate the numbers, and the numbers will be starting from 10 to up to 19 only. So the number last element 20 is excluded. So it will stop one element before 20. That means 10 to 19 it will generate. Another way of using a range is, suppose I am writing a range 10, 20, 2. This 2 is called step size. This 2 is called step size. So the numbers will be generated from 10 to 20 in steps of 2. That means it will generate 10, then it will generate 12, then 14 in steps of 2, means you keep on adding 2, then 16, then 18, and it will stop here. Why? Because it will generate numbers from 10 to 20, means up to 19 only. 20 is not included. So 10 to 19. So 10 to 19 means it cannot generate 20. It will stop at 18. Why? Because the next number it should generate is 20. 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, and it cannot generate this 20 because up to 19 only it has to generate. So it will stop here. So these are the even numbers from 10 to 19. So you can take it like this. So this is called a step size. If we do not mention this step size, the step size is by default taken as 1. So in this manner also we can understand this. Similarly, if I write a range function like this, range of 10, comma 0, comma minus 1. So if I write like this, what it will generate? It will generate the numbers starting from 10. Of course, the starting element is 10, and minus 1 means in a descending order it will generate the numbers. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 only. Why? Because one element before this last element it will stop. So it will not generate 0. It will stop at 1. So it will generate the numbers from 10 to 1 in a descending order. It will not generate 0. Why? Because after 1 it has to generate 0. But as already we discussed, the last element is excluded. So it will stop one element before this. So 10 to 1 only it will generate the numbers. So this is how the range function works in Python. Now let us convert our algorithm into a Python program. I am going to write the Python program. File, new file I am taking because I want to type my program. So file, new file. To display numbers from 1 to 10, we want to write the program. See the second step in the algorithm. For loop I am using starting from I values starting from 1 to 10. So how can I write this? Please observe, in Python we should write a for loop like this. For I, then we have to write in operator. So for I in some object, this is known as a sequence colon, then we have to write print of I. So this is the format of for loop in Python. So for I in a sequence, then a colon means after colon we have to write the body of for loop. All the statements in the body of for loop should start with 4 spaces, then statement. So for I in a sequence. Now here sequence means what? Group of elements I want. When I write group of elements, this I will take those elements one by one. So how can I generate the numbers here in the sequence from 1 to 10? So for this purpose I can use range function, range 1 to 11 if you are writing. Please observe this, if you write 1 to 11, 1 comma 11, it will generate numbers starting from 1 to 10 only. Why? Because one element before 11 it will stop. So I am using here range function. Now please observe, I values are taken from this range function. Range function will supply the numbers from 1 to 10 only. So I value will be 1, then 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10. So when I am writing a print I inside this for loop, this print function will display I values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to 10 it will display. That is what we want. Now file, save, and I am going to save this program in E drive, and I am saving this program with the name demo. So demo, save as a type is a Python file. That means this program is saved as a demo.py in E drive. Click on save button. Demo.py already exists. Do you want to replace it? Yes, I want to replace. Then run module. So it is displaying the numbers from 1 to 10. One by one it is displaying the numbers.